Hello and welcome to Back to the Feature, the show where we talk about movies past, present, and future. This week we're keeping it in the present here in this holiday season. We're talking about Manchester by the Sea.
This is heavy duty, Doc. This is great.
Manchester by the Sea is a drama film put out by Kenneth Lonergan, a longtime writer. It also stars Casey Affleck and Michelle Williams in two just startling performances from this year. Just an excellent, emotional movie. John, what are your thoughts on Manchester by the Sea?
Manchester by the Sea is an excellent film. Just walking in, the nostalgia that you get from some of the shots that they use in the film, the small town feel. I really got some of that growing up in Wisconsin here. And this is Boston, but I mean, it's just gorgeous to look at. The cinematography, the editing, the writing, the characters, everything in this film is top notch. This is a masterpiece. I walked out, I think this is my favorite film of the year.
Yeah, I think that, just kind of going along with what you're talking about with some of those shots, I think they help to really establish the tone and the realness of this movie. I think it really drew you into a very realistic world. This man exists in our world, and I think they did a really good job of kind of capturing the natural beauty and just kind of the natural locations that they had to film in, and it looked very authentic. And I think that's the big thing with this movie, I think, is that word authentic. I think that it goes from the acting to the shots to the writing. It is very, very authentic. It feels more like we're watching a real man struggle with this very real emotional thing for 2 hours. And we're just kind of getting this little window into his life. I was really impressed with that aspect of this movie, and I thought that it was something that I hadn't really seen before. Not to that level with this film. So.
Another interesting thing is there's not a single wasted character in this film. I just walked out, there's no extras. Like, every person that's in scenes are engaged in some way. It's not just passerbys. Every person has a point in the movie.
Like, coming into the movie, I was almost a little nervous about that, because I'm like, it's 2 hours, 17 minutes of just straight up drama, and I think you could tell just from the way that the trailers were getting me emotional. I didn't even know what was going on yet. I just knew the struggle of this man having to choose to be his nephew's guardian or not, which is the kind of the main crux of the film. Casey Affleck's older brother passes away from heart failure. As a condition he's known about for quite some time. He leaves his son, Casey Affleck's nephew, in his care, much to kind of the surprise of Casey Affleck, who has this past that he's trying to deal with, and this struggle that he's kind of going through from his own past. And I think it's kind of about him trying to sort out those things, and sorting through that mess of his life to kind of give this kid something else and help this kid sort through the mess that now his life is kind of quickly becoming.
Yeah, playing off that too, Lucas Hedges, the nephew, or the son, whichever way you look at it, his performance was really good in it too, and I love the relationship between him and Casey Affleck in this film. It's so brought to life. It's so grounded in reality. This movie has a lot of humor in it. And I wasn't expecting that. And I actually felt awkward laughing, in the movie theater. Am I supposed to be laughing?
Yeah, they know they left a joke in here?
Yeah, it's genuinely funny because people are funny. Even when people are depressed, you still go around and have jokes with people. Life still carries on in that way. So, just everything, no wasted moments. This film was perfect.
Yeah, and it goes along with the thing we talked about before, that authenticity, that realism, the humor. Like I said, it's very authentic. It feels very real, coming from a very real place, and very natural in that way. There's a lot of little things that I think kind of also play into that, is that he has his characters make mistakes. He has his characters do, little mistakes. They're walking around the room, they kind of trip over something. They walk the wrong way because they don't remember where they parked. They don't catch everything. They don't.
Yeah, it doesn't feel uniform,
Yeah, it doesn't feel okay, we waited and got the best shot of them doing this thing.
Yeah, the world just feels very open and very real, very lived in, and we've said that before, but this is really, honestly, the best example of that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I've never seen a movie that had this type of realism to it. That really, I think, went out of its way. That attention to detail. I think is it really helps this movie. It really helps this movie. It really helps you really feel for this guy and really feel that this is a very real thing that he's going through.
And Michelle Williams gives a really powerhouse performance too. She's not in the film a ton. But she's a very important character in the film, and she's just breathtaking.
I've thought a lot of her for a number of years. I think that Michelle Williams is extremely talented. I know she's been a little bit quiet, really. I think over the last year, really, she didn't have tons of movies from last year, so it was cool seeing her in this. I think that her performances and stuff like Blue Valentine before this, I think we kind of knew that we were going to get something really good out of her, and I think that her and Casey Affleck had the heavy lifting in this movie, and kind of going on to him. If there's a guy out there right now that should be getting this Best Actor Oscar, it's really hard for me to sit there and go like, oh, there's tons of other people.
Yeah, it's his best performance, and I've said it. You know, he's a king of subtlety. This movie he shows a lot more range. There's a lot of subtle acting going on that's brilliant.
I've always kind of thought he's a better actor than his brother. He is, and I've always loved him in stuff like Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah,
and I think that he.
Written by Ben Affleck.
Yeah, but, that one. Well, that's based off a novel.
Yeah.
Directed by Ben Affleck, though, and that was his directorial debut.
Yep.
I think that's the places they should be at. Like they should work together like that a lot more. With Casey in front of the camera, I think he's proven it. Hopefully, this is the movie that really puts his stamp. Like, hey, I'm legitimately like one of the best actors that is working right now, and I think this movie really shows that that's very, very true. Very true statement. So that's been our short, non-spoiler review today of Manchester by the Sea. I implore you guys to go check this one out. It's one of the best movies that we've seen in 2016. It's a drama, so, kind of get ready. It's going to be very emotional, but it's very, very worth it. A very unique film. And as we said before, a lot more humor than I thought we were going to get going into it. So there's a lot of levity, and it's a very engaging 2 hours. So guys, go out and check it out. Manchester by the Sea. Remember to like and subscribe, comment down below on your thoughts of Manchester by the Sea. And also, you can find us on Twitter at BacktoFeature, and you can find us on Facebook on our page at BacktotheFeature. I've been your host, Giovanni Carlo.
And I'm John Vanderloop.
And we've been Back to the Feature, and we'll see you guys again next time.
Which is what makes time travel possible.